and welcome back to my channel. I'm Pete and you are on my channel called Pete J. Cooper the Model Builder, but you've seen that when you clicked on the links to get to this build. And you might know that we're going over to box number 9 from IXO Collection. I've emptied that out already, so there's nothing in there. I just wanted to show you the box. And that can go into the paper bin. This is the magazine that comes with it. It's of course the French version. Up here I've got the English version online. The magazine goes on, and a lot of the career of Jean Todt here, who worked at Peugeot, and especially rally department that he did, was very successful. And then of course we all know him from the Formula 1 going to Ferrari, and the time with Michael Schumacher, they worked together quite often. This is stage number 33 that we're doing. 34, 35, of course the last one, which is a copy of the previous one, 36. And I'm just going to get the 205 on my iPad. Where is it? So the tools that we're using this time are all the same. The screwdriver, tweezers, and the scalpels, of course, and the different heads that I have here as well. Got my wow stick here as well, my plastic cutter, my cups, oil, which we can put a little bit of extra on it, and I'm only putting a few drops in. It's more than enough. As well, it's an oil pen, what they call an oil, more or less. I think the English call it 3-in-1 lube clean table. I've got an extra cloth here for fragile parts, parts that we don't want to get scratched. We've got the wandering camera on our side today. Let's go on walkabout, and let's see what this thing does now. Yep. 36. Oh, come on. And 36. Download that. And we're going with this one. I'm gonna switch the orientation so I can read some more. We're all working with number 33. There you go. Number 33 is the rear axle and torsion bars, rear torsion bar and front torsion bar, and we're going to put that together. And let's get that out. As you can see, this is a Parkside rolling cutter, and I'm really happy with it, because it's, you know, with all these packs that we have, this works really well. I usually use these stickers, and I'll show you how easy these parts are to cut in this way, and it cuts through. Let's start this. So I forgot to bring those in, and we are using them as well. We've got the right hand and the left hand sides. So we were starting with the left hand side, which is this one, which is orientated. If you look at this, it should be orientated like that. So the closed side is to the inside, and the outside is the open part, as you can see right there. Then we'll be taking the left hand side of it. There is a D shape right there, and that's where we're gonna put that into. So that's the whole rear axle traveling arm that we've done in a previous stage. We're going to put them together. Oh, yo. So there it is. Yep. And we're going to put that JM screw into there. Get this off my table. We almost forgot to put a little bit of oil on it. Hold it so you can see it. Hold it thoroughly, and I'm going to tighten it but not over tighten it. It's in there quite loosely. So now we're going to get the rear torsion bar. I think the front torsion bar was the thinner one, or was it the thicker one? The rear torsion bar is the D one, so that's the thicker one. That's this one. That's gonna go into the hole right over there. And when we put it the other side in, it will all fit together. So let's put that one on then. As you can see, that fits in there properly. No, it's in there. Oh. That fits in there. It twists around. It's hard to hold because it's moving up here, but we're going to try it. Then the whole thing is going to be fitted with that JM screw. I'm holding it like this and screwing it in like so. There. That is in there loose, that's okay. Make sure that doesn't get loose in any way that you have to redo it, but I'm going to tighten them up on both sides because they're in quite loosely. Okay, now let's see what they say, how far you should go. Should that still be able to move torsion bars and fix it with the JM screws? No, I'm not saying anything. It's pretty much fixed like that. The only thing that doesn't move, can be moved, is that, and I'm okay with that. I don't think that should be able to move. And that is 33 done. I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to see what 34 has to offer. We're not going to start with those. Those are, of course, the brake calipers, 2 brake discs, and they're not left and righted. And I don't see anything on this as well. So if you put them like that, they're pretty much, but we're going to say that that's the left hand side and that is the right hand side. We can see it on that camera. And then we've got these little parts, and I think we're going to start with those. On the inside, right there is a hole, and right up there is a hole. And I think I'm going to get my tweezers out. I don't know if it's necessary. Peugeot 205 has been known to be the fiddly build, but this is... Okay, it's in. It's just my jitter fingers, huh? Caliper bolt caps, they're in. There we go. Then we've got these parking brake levers. It's D-shaped, and this little bit has to go to the lower side, to down, if we're looking at it now. There we go, it's in there like that. Yeah, it's the other way around, of course. Now let's see if I've got this right. It should face up. And I think we're going on to the brake discs. We are. And they're just showing the brake discs there, and they have to go in like that. And then we've got DP screws to go in. With a bit of oil, of course. won't harm the whole thing. So you tighten it, don't over tighten it. Then we put the other caliper on as well. 2 calipers are in as well, on as well, and that's in neatly. We've got those left to do, but not in this stage. No. Okay, we're gonna get that out. We're gonna put it like that. So we've got the right side here. We're putting in the piston, the spring, the shock absorber piston. We're putting it on the frame we've already built. Right there. We're just putting it over. There is a way. One side is harder to be put in, so just feel around and see what it works. Now we're screwing now in something where it's pretty hard to screw down, because we're not in there straight, but try as much as you can to put that in properly. That piston should be able to move a bit, so don't over tighten it. So this is the little thing we're going to put it on, which is the rear axle, the left rear axle base, and this little thing here. So we've got the screws that we put in. And I've put it into the right side because it's going through, as you heard. What I've not done, which I should have done, is put a little, I wanted to say glue, but a little bit oil in there, but it seems to be holding quite right, quite proper, because it is falling out. Then we're going to put the spring on, like so. What we do is we put that part that was just put together down there, and then we put it onto the little thing you can't see. That little part that is right sticking out right there. That's what we're going to marry them together. There we go. Need a little jittering and jiggering, whatever you want to, wiggling to do. Again, we've got a situation, it's hard to screw down. Good thing about it is that you cannot over tighten it either. That wasn't easy, guys. So we're going to get the outer splash guards in on the rear chassis section, which we got in a previous stage. So that shock absorber is down now. We're going to put the splash guards on, and we're turning it around and we're putting it on this side, and there's a lug there, so you've got an orientation pin right there, which should go into that little hole right there. We're going to put those together, and we've got 1, 2, 3 screws to put in. They're all AM screws. 1, 2, 3, and of course we're going to put a bit of oil on that, so let's get the oil there as well. We're going to start in the back, and you can't see me putting the screw in, but just a little bit, and then we'll tighten them when all screws are in. In this way you can make sure everything fits properly. It should fit properly, but you know, they make some mistakes now and then, or the measurements don't come out as they should. So that's that splash guard done. Then there's the inner splash guard as well that we have to put in. And like that, with AM screws as well. We're hardly going to see that, but it's so nice to put it in anyway. And a lot of people are saying, why are we putting these details in that we're never going to see? Well, the fun of it is, of course, that you're putting all these details in. The build itself is a part of the big fun you're having while putting this stuff together. And when it's done, it's usually you smiling that you know you've done it properly. And the second screw, if it will let me put it in, because I'm still shaking a bit, as you can see. There we go. That's in there as well. Now we're going on. Oh no, actually we're finished with the 35. We've got these parts together, and this finishes that part. We're gonna leave it all here because in 36 we have some more parts to put on, and we're gonna put it together with the large chassis one we have on this side. Let's just be naughty and put the splash guards on. We know about this. This is the right hand side. We get one of these long screws out, and we push it in from this side. I have not oiled it, which I have not done in the other part either, but it fits together fine. We can put the spring on like that. We're gonna get the one of the, is it the FM or the JM? What is it? It's the FM, so I've got the right screw there. Dab of oil. Let's see. Yep, that's the right way to fit it. The other way is too not hardly possible. Let's say it that way. Screw it, the FM in there, and screw it so that the screw can still move around. There we go. Then we're going to take the right hand side of the shock absorber. I don't you want to call it housing, but the shock absorber. Assembly. We put it together. I'm going to have a look through to see. Yeah, that MM should fit through that fine. There we go. There we go. That's better. That's the whole assembly put together. And we can now put that on the rear chassis part. And we leave it like that. And this is going on that and that. The rounded screw head or screw tunnel or whatever you want to call it. That goes into that part there. That screw head or screw hole goes over the other screw hole. And that should fit together properly. Look at that. That looks great. So we put two BMs on this side. It rolls over because of the weight. Now we're gonna start on this side. I put a little bit of oil on it. We put the BM screw in there. Properly tighten it. Don't over, of course, tighten it because you'll destroy the screw thread. Or the screw head. That's put together. And we're going to do some fiddling again, or are we going to put some BM screws right there and there as well? So we need a little bit of oil on that as well. Right there. That fits the whole shock assembly. Why, you know, I'm not a Dutch. I'm a Dutch native and not an English native. So, but even with Dutch words, I sometimes have the problem is that I don't know how to do this. Yeah, we're going to use the longer of the two. It looks like to be the longer of the two rubber hoses. I'm going to put it that way. In their drawings that is not red, but we do have that. We're going to put it through that little bracket there. And does it go through the second one as well? No, it goes above. It wants to go through that little thing there as well. And then it goes onto the little park brake things we put in earlier. And I need a bit of a tweezer there. And push it on properly. There we go. That's one. Then we do it on the other side as well with the shorter one. So this is the left hand side. We're putting it through that. Yep. We're gonna mount this on the full frame. Let's get the rest of the chassis in there. Park the brake discs over on that side. The hoses are all going underneath, and we're putting that, and that together, and we've got these two pins that are going to the lug holes there. And there we go. We are going to screw them down with Allen. These are the bigger ones. Screwdriver is okay. Oil. And we're going to start with the middle one. The third one, and we're gonna screw it down thoroughly now. All of them got a bit of oil on it, so there we go. Okay, these ones are going in to the holes that we have over there. And I think this side can be left like that, but we need to leave a little bit of space because this wire is moving, is going in here, but will be moving around through like that, I think. And, so those are the park cables that we've got like that, and we're putting them into the holes here. I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Oh, cable tidying. Oh, I love it. In this case it's hose tidying, so we're putting it all the way to the left hand side of the car, and then we're pulling it over the other cables into the little hole. That is what they're showing on the build guide. We're tidying it again, and now we're gonna do the other lines that we have here. This one is slightly, well, we'll see. And of course, yes, we've got them out. They're little spaghetti titers there that are coming out. I'll show you it on the picture on the camera, or on the movie in one of the corners somewhere, what I meant by what I just said. Then, as I thought, remember that little keyhole that we have? No, you can't see it there. Remember that we have that little hole there. see, I brought it out for something. Let's do it like that. So one of the longer hoses we're going to put in, those are the brake lines to the rear, of course. There was a little bracket with a hole in it that we can put it through, and I'm wanting to put it through right there and then through that hole there. Let's see if I can do that without using my tweezers. There we go. I needed the tweezers. Like that. Then, oh, this is hard to put in. I'll show you the picture, and I'll just try to get it through. I can hardly show you this, guys, because it's so much underneath and overneath and whatever neath. It's over and under everything. There we go. We put that on the caliper. As you can see right there, it's on the caliper here. Now we're gonna wire tidy that as well, or in this case hose tidy, and that should fit over on that side. And I think that finishes this pack. So here you can see this is all the wires of the hoses done at the moment. We're going to tidy that up because I think the fuel tank is going to come on here on this side, and somehow it's supposed to be, but this one is pretty long, so we might want to shorten that a bit because it's pretty darn long. Yep. As you can see, guys, we've got the two dangly hoses up there, and this is what this chassis looks like at the moment, as you can see right there. That is on the previous stage, and that is what we've done in the back with all the little parts there. I'm going to put it down. The only other two parts that we have and we have not touched are the two brake discs, which I'm going to put right there. It was a fiddly build, but not too bad. I think, let's see, what is it? More or less an hour. So I can edit this back to, oh well, let's say 30 minutes or something like that. It's not as bad as the variable was to put in with all the hoses that are coming loose and so on, but it's looking really nice. In the next issues, 37 and 38, we'll be having a rolling chassis because we will be putting wheels on both sides, and yeah, it will look even nicer. But that will take, that will be there in about a month by now, and you'll be seeing a video more or less in the same period, a month the period in between. So it will be a month after this video before I have the next one in. But this is such a nice build, guys. I am truly happy with this. I'm swearing sometimes, but not as much as I'm swearing with the Delorean build at the moment. I'm on issue number 91, and if you build them a Delorean, you know what issue 91 is. It's even worse than issue 48, because all the lighting is put together and the whole chassis is put together and nothing works. And I've been through that, and I'm through that at the moment. I've put the Delorean on the side for the moment, and sorry about that. I've put the Delorean on the side at the moment, and we'll wait until I've got some parts in from Model Mods with a remote control. That might help make sure that the buttons I have in there will not interfere with everything. And I hope that helps with, you know, the lights and the issues that are not shorting everything out. But it will take some time because I went past issue 91, so I have to break it down again. But we're not talking about that one, we're talking about this one. It is looking really nice at the moment. I love this build, as I said. I can't go any further for this time. Thank you very much for joining me again through this lovely build, and hope to see you next time. Get some extra people in there, make them aware of what I'm doing, so pass it on, like, subscribe. See you next time, I hope. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.